March 28th, 2024, Daily Bread. Passage Luke chapter 23, verse 1 through 25. Key verse 3. Title, Jesus Stands Trial. Then the whole assembly rose and led him off to Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, "We have found this man subverting our nation. He opposes payment of taxes to Caesar and claims to be Messiah, a king." So Pilate asked Jesus, "Are you the king of the Jews?" "You have said so," Jesus replied. Then Pilate announced to the chief priest and the crowd, "I find no basis for a charge against this man." But they insisted, "He stirs up the people all over Judea by his teaching. He started in Galilee and has come all the way here." On hearing this, Pilate asked if this man was a Galilean. When he heard that Jesus was under Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at that time. When Herod saw Jesus, he was greatly pleased, because for a long time he had been waiting to see him. From what he had heard about him, he had hoped to see him perform a sign of some sort. He plied him with many questions, but Jesus gave him no answer. The chief priest and the teachers of the law were standing there, vehemently accusing him. Then Herod and his soldiers ridiculed and mocked him. Dressing him in an elegant robe, they sent him back to Pilate. That day, Herod and Pilate became friends. Before this, they had been enemies. Pilate called together the chief priests, the rulers, and the people, and said to them, "You brought this man as one who is inciting the people to rebellion. I have examined him in your presence and have found no basis for your charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he sent him back to us, as you can see. He has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, I will punish him and then release him." But the whole crowd shouted, "Away with this man! Release Barabbas to us!" Barabbas had been thrown into prison for an insurrection in the city and for murder. Wanting to release Jesus, Pilate appealed to them again. But they kept shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" For the third time he spoke to them. "Why? What crime has this man committed? I have found in him no grounds for the death penalty. Therefore I will have him punished and then release him." But with loud shouts they insistently demanded that he be crucified, and their shouts prevailed. So Pilate decided to grant their demand. He released the man who had been thrown into prison for insurrection and murder, the one they asked for, and surrendered Jesus to their will. Daily Bread Message. When Jesus was brought to Pilate, the Roman governor, the religious leaders accused him, using several mistruths. Finally, they said it was because he had claimed to be the Messiah, a king. When asked by Pilate if Jesus was indeed the king of the Jews, Jesus replied resolutely, "Yes, it is as you say." Jesus never denied his true identity. Pilate knew Jesus was speaking the truth and tried to set him free. He then sent him to Herod, who only wanted to see him perform a miracle. When asked several questions, Jesus remained silent. He did not defend himself in the face of accusation. Herod and his men ridiculed and mocked the Son of God and sent him back to Pilate for a final hearing. Pilate needed to make a decision. He would either listen to the accusing voices or to the truth. It would be a costly decision. When he tried to oppose the crowd, they shouted, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" Finally, after attempting one more time to save Jesus, the shouts prevailed. Pilate released a man who was guilty of murder and had handed the innocent Jesus over to be crucified. Jesus took our place so we could be released for the punishment we deserved. He gave his life to die for undeserving sinners on the cross. Prayer. Jesus, you gave your life so we could be free. May we never forget your sacrifice and what you did for us. One word, Jesus died in our place.